management, property management, leasing management, technology management, information and communication, energy and efficiency reports, trends analysis, structure management and maintenance, and service maintenance. So altogether, we call this ISSA. And our initial definition is of internal building is the design and construction based on an appropriate selection of quality environment module to meet users' requirement by mapping with the appropriate building facilities to achieve a long-term building value. In fact, we all know that the long-term is like the operation. As what Professor Chen said, 83% of the building value is in the operation. So internal buildings have to improve the occupants' talents, and the buildings themselves are not necessarily intelligent. So what we call intelligent is to increase our intelligence, human beings intelligent, and the internal building is a facilities. It facilitates us to increase our intelligence, our talent. The IBI has 10 quality environment modules. So we have the green index, space index, comfort index, working efficiency index, culture index, technology provision, safety and structure index, management practice and security index, cost effectiveness index, health and sanitation index. Just like the Vice President Dun Yi just now said, we want comfortable, healthy, and cost-effective, and like intelligent thing. So all these are included. And of course, different buildings need different emphasis. Like if it is an office, the weighting for the work efficiency is the highest. If it is in hospital, the health and sanitation index is highest. If it is a school or university, we look at culture index, that is the highest. Okay, so although we have all these 10 index, but the weightings for different different buildings, different kind of buildings would have different weighting. So I'm not going to elaborate too much on this weighting. We believe we have these 10 indexes, 10 modules, and inside the IBI, just the 10 index with different weighting should suit different purposes. Okay, even industry buildings, we have different weightings. Well, talk about definition. All 10 modules form the first level, so we have all the levels, and the fundamental level, this is the important level of the definition. We have the second level. There are a number of facilities of key elements, more and more can be added from time to time. So it is a growing index. So when time comes, we have more information, we have more invention, more idea we can plug into our index. These are facilities or features that the designer need to consider when designing an intelligent building. So I shift to the other one, the Hong Kong BEAM. BEAM is a building energy assessment method. Originally, it is energy assessment, but now they change it a little bit to building environment assessment methods. Hong Kong BEAM is initiative of the Real Estate Developers Association of Hong Kong, and the document is prepared by the Department of Building Service Engineering, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, with the assistance with the School of Architecture, University of Wales, Cardiff. And the latest version would have a 4-part. One for the new buildings, existing buildings, new buildings, or in Chinese. So only two parts, either in English or in Chinese. Okay, so it is one book on new buildings, the other are existing buildings. So this D Plus version 1.1 started in year 2010. They placed more emphasis on the importance of the greenhouse gas emission reduction. The latest version of BIM assessment tools changed the name a little bit because it's BIM Plus version 1.2 for new buildings and existing buildings were officially launched on the 3rd of July 2012. This enhanced version addresses issues raised in the report, roadmap for green building labeling system in Hong Kong, and the aspiration from stakeholders for passive design. This is one of the examples of B Plus for new buildings 1.2. And there are mainly 4 aspects. It is site aspects, we call this SA. They are, the weighting is fixed at 25%. Material aspect, MA, 8%. Energy use, EU, 35%. And water use, 12%. Indoor environment quality, 20%. So add together is 100%. Whether you, about the rating, the platinum, if the overall rating got 75%, and the space, energy, IEQ, and IA is innovation and addition. So you have all these credits, we call this excellent. And we have a gold, very good, silver, good, bronze, above average. Let us go back to the IBI again. The IBI started, the version 1 is year 2001, and version 2, this is a draft. We took the draft to all the stakeholders, government officials and so on, asked for their comments. And eventually we call this IBI 2.0 at year 2001. And then year 2005, well, we have IBI 3. At the moment, we are using IBI 4. And we are revising to get IBI 4 is on the process. The scoring system of IBI is rather different from your school certificate. If you have take examination, you just sum them together and average, get the marks. But for the IBI, we make exponential and multiplication rather than sum and average. So we have, say, we have, for example, if we have 2 modules, the module X got score A, module Y got score B, then the overall score will be X exponential to A over the sum, and Y to the power B over the sum. And it is what we call the Cobb-Douglas function, and it is being used, widely used in economic systems. So I is the overall index score. M is the module. So we sum all the modules to the power of the weighting and exponential, also the sum. Okay, so that is the overall I. But each M, we do the same thing. So we have the features and the weighting of the features, and also the sum of the weighting, or the score. So we sum all this up, get the module, and put the modules there and multiply them up, and then we get the final index. That is the way that we take the score. Now, these certificates awarded by IBI would be, of course, we start from the best. Over 90%, we call this excellent, and with substantial provision. 70 score, we provide good but not substantially enough provisions. 60 just fill the latest statutory requirement of Hong Kong or the local requirement. All the others are failed. Okay, so we have similar to the IPS in Korea. We have authorized auditor trained by AIIB who can carry out IP assessment. And this auditor, reports of these auditors are commented by AIIB and certifications are awarded according to the recommendation of the authorized assessors. So we have two levels, assessors and auditors, and eventually come back to the AIIB committee, we issue the certificate. Altogether, inside the IBI index, we have 10 modules. Altogether, we have 370 elements inside the 10 modules. And some distinction building assessed before. So some of them, like ICC, that is, I think, year 2012, and ISC, that is year 2010, and Science Park, and some other buildings in mainland China. We audit also the Hong Kong University, Shanghai Jinmao building, and also district as well. So there's a number of buildings and districts that we have audited. Now we come back to the IBI. Say, for example, I just give you a few examples of how this index works. Okay, so that is the module 1, the green index. We concentrate on the scientific studies on various green designs, green building materials, existence of green features, thermal comfort OTTV. For example, if you look at the ventilation and air conditioning, cool air distribution, if all air system, we have a variable air ventilation system, then we have 90 score. If you have just air water system, then you have 60 score. If you have all water system, we have 50 score. I think there maybe a missing word here. And other central system, then we have 50 score. If you have space unit, we have 40 score, and so on. Okay, the weight is 5. And altogether, we have many others, around 80 items in total in this green index. And then we have space index. We look at the area per person, average width of the corridor, average usable area in percentage of the total GFA, the gross floor area. Look at one example, flexibility of installing new false ceilings and floor utility for totally different users. So in fact, if it is in the commercial building, you have a new tenants come in, you have the renovation. Now, if your ceiling and floor utility can be used by other people after repartitioning, the same features can be used. Then if it is excellent, we have 90 score, good 70 score, fair 40 score, worse, it means you have to dismantle and renovate altogether. That is only 10 score. So for this one, we have virtual wiring and smart ceiling design and so on. Okay, so there are many other, around 80 items in total, including bonus items recommended by auditor. So these bonus items are recommended by auditor, and we do not put in the book. And then safety and structure index. We look at the structure design for natural disaster prevention and mitigation. Non-structural building components, failure prevention mitigation measures, precautionary plan, and audit for terrorist attack. So look at the total egress. 10 minutes, then we have 90 points. And 30 minutes and more, so it's only 10. So it has to be very efficient. Okay, so altogether we have 32 items in total for this one. And And therefore, we look at the global trend of IP development. In the global trend, we go green, we go automation, smart, we go healthy, we go human. And therefore, we have this culture index built in our module. Okay, so we look at the BIM Plus. So I shall talk about the background of BIM Plus assessment, background of Hong Kong Soho Holiday Inn. So I take this one as an example to explain these items. Introduction of BIM Plus with Hong Kong Soho Holiday Inn Express. There are 6 aspects, are very similar to the China one. We have site aspect, material aspect, energy aspect, water aspect, indoor environment index, innovation and addition. Okay, so I think the first 5 is very similar to the Chinese part. Now, the introduction. BIM Plus is a voluntary, sensor-based, and market-driven, covering new buildings and existing buildings. And BIM scheme was established initially in 1996. The latest version, BIM Plus version, is in November. It was announced in July, but launched in November 2012. And it divided 2 stages. One is the provisional assessment, and then the final assessment. Okay, so the BIM Plus assessment includes 6 aspects of a project. So we look at the site, material, energy, water, indoor, and also additional bonuses. And the certification is like this. If it is a platinum, 75%, gold, 65%, silver, 55%, and bronze, 40%. And there are also other unclassified. We look at the Soho Holiday Inn. The background, its location is at the Hong Kong Island, and the building style is 36-story hotel building. Site area is very small, 612 square meters. Total construction area is 9,000 square meters. So you look at the plot ratio is very high, about 15, at least 15 times. Function area, we have shop, restaurant, function room, a gym, and rooftop gardens. 275 guest rooms, including 160 single bedroom, 106 twin rooms, 6 rooms for people with disability. And construction period begins in 2009 and delivered in 2012. Got the award, the highest grade indeed, Hong Kong BIM Green Mark, so we also get the Singapore Green Mark, IPI, and China 3-star. And the green features, innovative green and energy-saving features, like their own invention on these high-efficient fan coil units, saving pattern recognition system, I think face pattern recognition, optimized for heavy lift, and additional bedside cold plate. I will explain this later. You look at this, it's very, very slim. So it is Hong Kong style. And the street is very narrow. It can pass only by 1 car at a time. So it is Hong Kong, the Hong Kong situation. And it is why when the China 3-star system come to Hong Kong, we have to revise it because the Hong Kong is a very highly density city. Okay, look at the small plot. So the site aspect, we look at the beach landscape area. It has to be provisioned that this 20% of the site area. So the site area is already very small, and 20% of the landscape have to be open. Okay, so 20% of these 612 square meters are made. So it is awarded so this many contaminated land is minimized. We have provide car park, public transport, basic services, recreation facilities, and also site design, appraisal, ecological impact, culture heritage, hard landscaping, soft landscaping, wind amplification, elevated temperature, it means hot island effect, air ventilation assessment, neighborhood daylight assessment is light pollution, that's what the Korean said. Environmental management plan, air pollution during construction, even during construction we have to take into account. Noise during construction, water pollution during construction, noise from building equipment, and light pollution. All these are considered in the site aspect. Now, example achieved by the Hong Kong, the Soho Holiday Inn. So the public transportation inside here, we have plenty of public transportation within 500 meters. So we have bus terminals, MTR station, train station, as well as ferry to Mayday, Macau, and so on. And this is bus station as well, and bus terminal. And the green, now, because the landscaping, we do not have enough horizontal landscaping. So this is horizontal landscaping. We have vertical plant as well as sky gardens. All these are included, and therefore we have horizontal greening 165 square meter. It is already 26.9% of site area, and vertical greening 126 is 20% of site area. So all these are we pass the requirement of 20%. Okay, we have almost 47.5% is not 20%, so it's well passed. Example of achieve credit in site area. Okay, so all the others. We have other facilities like restaurant, banking, school, library, supermarket, and parking. We have parks as well with public swimming, public indoor sports and facilities, and so on. Okay, so and also the wind effects, wind amplification. So we did CFD as well as wind tunnel testing, and the overall wind is less than 4 meters per second. That is the requirement. All these are only 0. something. So they all pass the requirement. Now we look at the material aspects. We have to specify the timber use, and also on CFC-based refrigerants, construction waste management plan, waste recycling facility, building reuse, modular and standardized design. So it's a prefabrication, spatial adaptation, also rapid renewable material, sustainable forest products. So we have to look at the certification where the timber is from the sustainable forest. We have outside surface work and structure, building structure, interior building components, refrigerants, also application materials, regional manufacturer materials, demolishing waste reduction, construction waste reduction. All this has to be considered in the material aspect. And example, in the Holiday Inn Hotel. So we use timber for the temporary structures. We have certificates for this sustainable forest timber. It is come from the virgin forest product were not used for temporary work. At least 50% of all timbers are from sustainable source timber. So we have to give them this certificate, this one. 100% use of reusable timber timber from sustainable forest, for temporary use, for permanent use. Okay, all these have a certificate. And about the waste recycling facility, there are a lot of waste recycling facility for the convenience of people. Now we come to the third point, the energy aspect. So you have to minimize, we have to minimize energy usage. We have to record all the annual energy use, peak energy demand reduction, and all the energy in building structure elements, ventilation system, lighting system in car park, renewable energy system, air conditioning unit, clothes drying facilities, and energy efficient commission and so on, commission plans, operation and maintenance venue. So all these should be included. Now look at the achievable in energy use. So we use a low U value, application of low E gas, better thermal insulation, green wall, low west-facing facade. You look at the facade, the west-facing is the off-road. And other example is the annual energy use. We use LED lighting, T5 tubes, and 38% improvement in lighting power consumption calculation. There's also solar energy harvesting. Both heat and light are used. Water aspect. So we have water quality surveys and so on. Okay. So the water aspect, we have all these. The shower head, the water of the shower head mixed with air, so you feel better. Although you don't have all the water come in, but you feel better with the air mix. And all these automatic water usage. Okay. Also, we have a water recycling, harvest rainwater for the aggregation. We use seawater for toilet flushing and so on. And then air quality. So it's a lot of air quality items as well. Because of time, I am not going to go into the individual. We also look at the germs, bacteria, contamination, and so on. There's a lot of things in here. Achievable. So we look at the disabled platform for the disability people. We have this air heating unit and also ventilation in the common area. Innovation additional in this part. Okay, so we have a field. That is, the fan coil was invented by the company, so it can reduce 80% of power consumption. So they believe energy saving is 149,000 kilowatt per hour. So that is the advantage, 100% speed control, and this is a trademark as well. Okay, and then the power consumption of the motor, and all this. Also the lift, the counterweight of the lift can be adjusted. Depends on statistics to save the counterweight weightage. And this one is the chill headboard. So you don't at night you do not need to cool the whole room, but you cool the bed head is good enough. So this is automatically switch off, and the air conditioner automatically switch off, but the residents still feeling comfortable because the cool air just cover your bed only. So there's a lot of intelligence in here. Also innovation, design solar hot water heater and so on. Okay, so that is my final part. And as the AIIB and the Hong Kong Green Building Council, we are very happy to join the paper, and we wish the paper can extend to the other part of the Asia Pacific area. Thank you very much.
谢谢电影协会香港分会的梁会长。梁会长也告诉我们这个亚洲智能协会在香港分会的一些功能以及这个对智能建筑的评估系统。 更重要，他提到除了我们要迈向节能减碳、自动化，注意到这个健康照护、人性关怀以外，他特别提到就是所谓在社会文化的这个角色在这方面可能我们很多的国家并介绍的更别给我必须更注意到这一个课题，我想这是非常好的。那接下来呢，我们要请到新加坡绿建筑协会的这个黄会长，黄会长是在新加坡他是经营一个非常有名的机电顾问公司，而且他也帮助新加坡的建设局这 BCA 有很多的这个工程，同时也协助新加坡的很多的国家的标准跟技术规范的这个草拟，所以他特别今天特别要跟我们介绍的是迈向绿色有机的建筑环境。那 Let's welcome President.
Distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, or maybe coming to noontime. I'm very glad to be here today and bring you greetings from the Singapore Green Building Council. I would first like to congratulate TIBA and President Wen Shouling for successfully organizing this inaugural Asia-Pacific Intelligent Green Building Alliance Conference, the first of many to come. I believe events such as today's conference are important for knowledge sharing and help the industry stay on course in the green movement. The world is interconnected, and as the world population grows at an exponential rate, with about 7.2 billion people globally, the trend for increased resource consumption is evident. There will be greater need for more food, water, and energy. We are here today because we believe that the Earth's finite resources must be made sustainable before all is depleted. And one of the most essential resources is energy. Energy is needed for almost everything, and more so with globalization, be it countries, businesses, or individuals. The Asia Development Bank has projected energy demand to almost double in the Asia and Pacific region by 2030. This basically means we need to source for sustainable energy and sustain current energy demand through energy efficient solutions. Buildings consume more than 40% of global energy use and are responsible for about 1/3 of greenhouse gas emissions. This gives the building sector a very important role to play in improving energy efficiency and in reducing greenhouse gas. And that is the reason why all of us are here today, to play a part in creating a sustainable future. Singapore is about 710 square kilometers, which is about 51 times smaller than Taiwan in terms of area. We are an island city-state, small and densely populated, with about 5.4 million people and no natural resources. At the same time, Singapore is ranked second for being the world's most competitive country, runs one of the busiest shipping hubs globally, and built over 1 million dwelling units of good quality public housing for Singapore residents. So, where does sustainability build in? As you know, Singapore does not have viable sources of renewable energy. We will therefore have to focus on raising energy efficiency, aiming for a 35% improvement in energy efficiency from 2005 levels by 2030. In 2008, the government set a national target to green 80% of Singapore's buildings that ultimately aims to achieve 35% improvement in energy efficiency by 2030. Today, we have greened about 22%, about 1/4 of the 80% target. This is collective achievement of the industry and was possible only with a strong commitment from both government and industry to drive a sustainable agenda. Singapore imports all fuels required for energy needs. In 2001, fuel oil was the dominant source for generation of electricity at 72%. Since then, natural gas has taken over as the dominant fuel source at 81% in 2009. Electricity is generated by diesel, syngas, and refuse incineration, which remains at around 4%. Singapore targets for greening Singapore. 80% of buildings in Singapore are to be certified green by 2030. 35% reduction in overall intensity by 2030. Creating the green wave, my two other fellow speakers from Singapore will touch in greater detail of the various green building master plan. But just to let you have a gist of it, we only started in 2005, and every year, 2006, we revised the first green building master plan, and 2009. And as earlier speakers have noted, all of us need support from the government. We need government's support and subsidies in greening our activities. The BCA Green Mark scheme has also gone through various versions of improvement. With each improvement, the level of sustainability is raised. In the version 4 in 2010, we advocate passive design, natural ventilation daylighting, promote sustainable construction, greater emphasis on energy performance, enhance prerequisites for higher green mark ratings. And earlier in yesterday, I discussed with some of you, and you all asked, how do we achieve it? And actually, we have actually implemented, to going back to existing buildings, to buildings that have been certified 3 years later to measure the energy use, and the energy data is actually being mandated to be shown on the websites, the government websites. So you know whether your building is performing well or not, and what improvements you need to take. As mentioned earlier, green mark building projects in Singapore, we have now reached 1,800 green mark buildings with 52 million square meters that's been certified, making up 22% of our total existing building floor area. Let me touch on the Green Building Council. Green building has gained great momentum in the Asia-Pacific region, and Singapore has taken a very practical approach towards achieving sustainable development by choosing to balance the twin goals of growing the economy and protecting the environment. I think in Singapore, as you know, we don't have resources. Growing economy is equally important. Amongst building owners and businesses, there's a need. There's also a trend to shift from general environmental friendly elements to more measurable performance-based outcomes. The concept of green building incorporates and integrates a variety of strategies during the design, construction, operation, and maintenance of building projects. The use of green building materials and products represents an important strategy in the design of building and promotes conservation of dwindling non-renewable resources. SGBC has developed certification schemes to raise the environmental standards and provide benchmarks in environmental performance of products and services. The Singapore Green Building Product Certification Scheme and the Singapore Green Building Services Certification Scheme were launched in 2010 and 2012. And in a short span of 4 years, SGBC has certified over 600 green products and services under the scheme. There is a strong testament of the industry's commitment to establish themselves as green leaders in the industry and to distinguish themselves as credible and proven providers of green building products and services. Our affiliation with World Green Building Council. At SGBC, we know that the building creates a global impact through the statement they made, and understand the necessity of interconnectivity to learn the best from the best in today's global market. As an established member of the World Green Building Council network, we are linked with the world's largest green building international organization with over 100 green building councils. The Global Alliance facilitates exchange of industry knowledge, creates global networking opportunities, and enables SGBC members to make greater impact in their fields of influence. As mentioned earlier, there are about 98 now green building councils under the World Green Building Council. And we just started in 2009. In terms of SGBC members, we are actually a community very varied, not only just professionals. We have product suppliers of 245, consultancies of 962 that includes architects, engineers, structural engineers, contractors, building contractors, M&E contractors of 59, real estate developers and managers of 30, public sectors and academic institute of 15. That includes the universities and polytechnics, associations, NGOs and NPOs of 9, others of 10. So we have more than 430 members today. And as you know, product certification, we have various categories quite similar to the ones you have in Taiwan and the other Asian countries. We have recycled materials, mechanical materials, facade and envelope, electrical equipment, renewable energy, interior systems, interior finishes, and concrete and structural. And in total, we have certified products up to date of 476. And we classify our product certification under 4 categories: 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, and 4 ticks. As you know that the 4 ticks are the most difficult to achieve. In terms of certification of building services, we have certified 42. The current categories we have are architectural, mechanical and electrical, environmental sustainable design, quantity surveying, energy performance contracting. Going forward, as we mentioned, the third green wave will be concentrating on building occupants and tenants. I think this is very important, as you know that existing buildings form the big part of any country's resources, and you can easily tackle the new buildings, but existing buildings is the most difficult. The third Green Building Master Plan will be trying to be a leader, global leader in green buildings with special expertise in the tropics and subtropics, enabling sustainable development and quality living. We hope to play the continued leadership with proven sustainability performance and engaging the various stakeholders. At SGBC, we certainly believe more action is needed to ensure that good environment that we have today is preserved for future generations. And I'm sure all of you here today and at TIBA share the same. On this note, I would like to thank President Wen and TIBA for inviting me to be part of today's event. And I have greatly enjoyed meeting fellow green leaders and advocates. I wish all of you a fruitful session and an enjoyable conference ahead. Thank you.